like it.
Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So today I'm pretty excited to share with you this brand new 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe. This particular one is the non-hybrid, sporting the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged 4-cylinder platform. I'm excited to highlight the exterior, interior, and really go over all the details with you guys in this in-depth review and really give you a snapshot of, is it a realistic vehicle to buy if you're like me and you have 4 kiddos at home? So I'll give you that snapshot and we'll wrap up the video with, do I recommend buying one? What does that resale look like down the road? Stick with me. So this is, no kidding, my first time behind the steering wheel, and let me show you this for starters. This was an interesting little tidbit right here. So to change it from park to drive, you twist it. That's my first time ever seeing something quite like that. So now we're in drive, and now we can set off. So this is my first time, no kidding, driving it. Let's see how it feels. So again, this one does have the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder platform. It gets 277 horsepower and 317 foot-pounds of torque. And I tell you what, just right off the get-go, it is extremely throaty. That was very snappy, just right off the get-go. I wasn't expecting that. Kind of shorter gears to the feeling. Let's see how it does as we get up on the freeway here. Check that out. So you have little, that's new to me anyway. See the little, I got my turn signal on and it shows me to the side with the camera there. Interesting. I like that. That's pretty cool. Full digital display as you'd expect. The camera bit is pretty cool. All right, we're on throttle now. Wow. Hyundai stepping up the game. How about that? So to be fair, this is nearly unchanged when it comes to the powertrain from the previous year. All right, so this is sporting the same exact 2.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged 4-cylinder, same exact platform, and they have continued on the hybrid platform as well. And I believe that one is a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged platform with the electric battery pack strapped to it as well. But this just feels good. This feels right. Let's look at that. Check my mirror and check my little camera there as we change lanes. Do you remember when you used to think of Hyundai and Kia and kind of roll your eyes a little bit because you never thought of Hyundai or Kia, these Korean manufacturers, of having top-of-the-line vehicles, right? So they never really had the greatest reputation when it comes to fit, finish, quality, and then reliability too, right? You always kind of went with Toyota for the reliability aspect. But I tell you what, as I look through here and just the premium feel of everything, metal finishes, metal bezels, metal door handles, everything is extremely well put together. This Bose system here, it really is extremely nice. Not to mention, this is the Limited, so it is the fully spec'd version of this, and it feels the part. It earns top trim status, in my opinion, when you just look around and feel here. All right, so we have a speed limit change here, so I'm gonna give you an idea of what full throttle feels like. Wow, even going 60 something miles per hour, you can, it's peppy. It snaps up to it pretty dang quick. That's impressive. So I'm going about 70 miles per hour on the freeway and just getting a little bit extra wind noise coming from this passenger door. I'm not noticing it from my driver door, but to be fair, I live in Wyoming and it is very windy, and the winds are coming from the northwest, coming at us right here. So that is definitely a factor involved here. So Hyundai says 0 to 60 is right just under 8 seconds flat. Let's see how it does. Okay, there's 60. All right. How long was that? So we'll start off by doing just a real quick, abbreviated walk around, then we'll kind of dissect some of the details, okay? So Hyundai, one thing that they have said they went into this on purpose doing is creating a much better drag coefficient. They have a 0.29 drag coefficient, which is a little bit better from their previous generation that had a 0.33. This here allows them to increase their fuel economy just a little bit, because I mean, at the end of the day, it still is a big SUV, but just the whole flat fascia up front really helps out with that. I am a big fan of these wheels on this Limited in particular. I think it looks great. Wrapped in some Pirelli Scorpion MS tires. Definitely a good look. And those are 20-inch wheels. You can see the size right here. Can give you a look down the side. A very boxy looking vehicle, but I think it really is a modern looking design. A very, very modern, almost kind of borderline futuristic design with those headlights. So I really like that. So you can kind of see the straight up and down design back here. Again, Hyundai did that on purpose as well to really keep it the boxy feel, and it really maximizes the amount of cargo space inside, which we'll see here in a minute. Give you a side shot. Definitely a good looking ride. Yeah, forgive me for getting my shadow in the shot here. Now the back end, I think I might need some selling on this. I'm not in love with this very, I don't know, it's like maybe a space age minivan back end. I don't love that. I don't love that the taillights are so low, but the front end makes up for it with plenty of points, I think. Got that roof rack and some Santa Fe badging here. Mirrors come with blind spot monitors within them, and the blinkers integrated on the side. This particular one has a standard sunroof there. Yeah, a very nice looking vehicle. I think it's sleek. It's not over the top. It's not overdone. I dig it. So underneath the hood, we do have the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged platform, Hyundai SmartStream G turbocharged platform here. This really does deliver power in exceptional fashion. So it is running right now. You kind of hear that kind of buzzing a little bit. Not too loud, right? So pretty quiet platform. Hyundai's used this for several years now, so they've had the opportunity to kind of work out all the bugs and kinks. So I think that is definitely a plus to consider when you're buying this. It's a full new redesign, but at least the powertrain is at least tested at this point, and hopefully you won't get too many surprises with the powertrain itself. You can get the optional front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, something to consider there. But this little four-banger here does a great job at delivering power. 277 horsepower and 317 foot-pounds of torque. Definitely impressive. When I look in here, you know, from a mechanic standpoint, my brother's a mechanic, I'm not, I won't pretend to be, but at least everything is pretty accessible, right? Nothing is too hidden, doesn't have a bunch of clunky plastic shrouds on top of it. It looks like you can actually work on this one. Dare I say, you know, tear it apart and do your own maintenance. That'd be kind of crazy, huh? So personally, I really like the direction that Hyundai is going. You kind of find it with their Hyundai Ioniq 5, although that's a whole different story, that particular EV. But this here, I feel like the design cues are very retro, very 32-bit, and I really like that. And you see it here with the headlights. This little H that we see with the headlight, you find that same little design cue all throughout the vehicle, and I'll showcase that in today's video. So another one here out back in the taillight, you see that same exact H? And as DJ Khaled would say, another one. Some more here in the seats. Also in the front seats too, but this one here, this might be a stretch, but you kind of notice it, the design cue in the fans here. And there is your MSRP, just under 47 grand. That's not cheap, but this is the top of the line limited edition. So checking out the interior, you are immediately greeted with a very heavy door, so a very solid feeling door, which I always appreciate that with vehicles. If it's a cheap flimsy door, it's always not the best first impression. So I love the heft of the door. I love the materials used on the door. Pretty impressive to see this wood grain finish here. Dark wood grain finish with leather up top and some metal bezels and metal door handles here. This is, you would expect this really within a Mercedes-Benz. So I'm very, very shocked and impressed that Hyundai put this together. So that's what you're greeted with. And you have a Bose sound system as well within the Limited here. So let's check out the inside. Look at that cockpit. Holy cow. I'm blown away at how nice this Santa Fe is. Seriously, guys. And it is the third row, and there's so much cargo space out back there with a ton of headroom, so it really is one that is tempting for us to even buy as a family of 6. Here's that giant full digital display that wraps around, kind of that curved display, you can kind of see it there. That looks great. Some, it might be hard plastic here, but some more metal finishes integrated within the buttons on the steering wheel. This feels very Land Rover-esque, doesn't it? Just this right here in general, not to mention this right here. Didn't mention that when I was looking at the outside, but this whole back window piece here, very Land Rover-esque. All right, back to the interior. I'm gonna jump in here. Actually, before I do that, let me just kind of highlight the backward shot here. So it is the third row. I do have the third row up. We'll look at that here in a second. I'll show you realistically what it looks like with a full-size adult sitting back there. Okay, I'm 5'9". Can I claim full size? All right, let's get in. Shut the door. Again, a solid thunk when you close it. I love it. All right, this is it. Look at this. Look at this, a freaking Hyundai. Do you remember when you used to say like Hyundai and Kia and scoff a little bit? Because they were just, you know, let's face it, they were kind of chintzy, right? A little cheap feeling, exterior and interior. And they didn't scream reliability, whereas this now is starting to give you really good peace of mind, and it just feels excellent in here. Here's some of your controls down here, your climate controls, heated steering wheel here, heated and cooled seats in the Limited. You know, the gloss black, piano glass black, that can kind of get old over time. Let's face it, you know, a lot of fingerprints can get on that. But I think it makes up for it, right? There's not a whole lot of it. To be fair though, it is kind of in the spots you're touching mostly, but there's not a lot of it, right? So most of it is, you know, flat black plastics right here anyway, and then up here you got that more of that wood grain finish, and then more metal bezels throughout the venting. I think it looks incredible. Have a leather wrapped dash and some nice stitch work here on your cargo space there. So here in the middle, kind of a decent size, not so deep, but a decent size center armrest console. Nice leather wrapped on top. A couple cup holders with collapsible handles there. But yeah, definitely impressed. And you know, just the feel of this feels a step up above what you typically would find as a headliner, right? It just looks better and feels better. Not to mention you do have the Bose tweeter sound system here, right? This looks great. Ton of visibility throughout that. I think that's an important thing to note. You know, I think for a lot of parents out there, having exceptional visibility with no blind spots is a big deal. Give you an idea what I look like in it. Plenty of headspace for 5'9" anyway, and a lot of adjustability in the seat. Let's check out the back seats. All right, so one thing that I notice as a dad immediately is the very nice high cutout here. And this is really important to me. As a parent, you understand that is, you know, you get a lot of space to throw in your car seats, baby seats, and all that stuff. and you need that additional headroom to kind of get in there comfortably to do it, because you're always changing them around, right? So that is something you notice right out of the get-go. A ton of headspace as you get in. I don't feel like I got to crouch down to get into this. All right, so a lot of leg room as you are currently set up in this, with plenty of adjustability as well. And real quick, to give you an idea of what 5'9" looks like behind another 5'9" person, look at that leg room. That is huge. Give you an idea of what I look like in it. Yeah, definitely not bad. Not bad at all. The sunroof little cutout here gives you a little bit more headroom for you taller folks. Definitely comfortable, and plenty of entry headspace too coming in. The premium finishes on the door cards and door panels carry on to the back, which is nice. Sometimes they chintz out a little bit, cheap out a little bit on the back seats, but they did not do that here. Metal and wood finishes all throughout. Look at that, 2 cup holders there. That's a pro move, Hyundai. Good job. And we'll even count that as a water bottle holder. All right, you're back with some collapsible newspaper holders there. Newspaper. Who reads those? All right. And look at this. This is kind of interesting. Get your chargers here, your C-port chargers for your phone. That's pretty cool. You don't see them normally tucked on the seats like that. Okay, let's pull this guy down and check out this third row. So as it sits right now, not a ton of leg room for them, but we can pull these seats forward, right? So not terrible, but not ideal. But if you have littles like me, ages 7 and younger, this is totally fine for them. So a little bit more adjustability over there. You get the rear AC adjustability. Let me give you a better look at your rear AC adjustability there on the left, that knob, and some additional charging ports there. 2 cup holders per side, that's cool. And 1 charging port over here. This is a nice spot. Again, plenty of headroom all throughout. I think that is one thing I think a lot of parents are going to be impressed with when they get into this. And I didn't mention it earlier, but it is that dual sunroof setup, which is really cool. Again, another Land Rover staple there. Let me show you the cargo space out back behind that third row. So not a lot, but also not terrible. I would argue that this is even a little bit better than the Toyota Sequoia. Toyota Sequoia maybe from here had this much. It was like about 10 inches or so back. So this is a little bit better than that Sequoia, I would argue. But again, you can always flip these down. Oh, I didn't put the headrest down. Whoops. Need to tinker with that. But you get the idea. So they do fold flat, and you get a ton of cargo space back here. I believe Hyundai said 40 cubic feet out back with them folded down, these 2 rear ones. So pretty impressive. There's your clothes. Yeah, I gotta admit, guys, I am very impressed with this. So again, I'll plug in a quick shout out to Ken Garff Hyundai here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Really appreciate them giving me the opportunity not only to review it, but to get hands-on, you know, and actually drive it a little bit and feel this vehicle out and give you guys an honest assessment of it. It really does feel extremely premium, and it does not feel like a Hyundai should. And I know that's kind of maybe not the best thing to say, but it feels extremely premium. Very impressive. And one thing you'll notice as it opens up here is the strut arms actually kind of protrude outward, right? They kind of open to the side. By them having that straight up and down rear hatch, that boxy look, it really allows them to maximize the entry point of this rear cargo space and really maximize the entirety of the cargo space in general. That's pretty cool and pretty smart of Hyundai to have done. Here's a quick look at it at nighttime. Pretty sleek in here. Some nice ambient lighting all throughout. Kind of like what you would find on a Mercedes-Benz, really. Let's go ahead and push the start. Pretty sleek. Do I recommend buying this brand new, all new 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe? The answer is yes. I think this really is a shocking vehicle. You know, inside and out, I think Hyundai has gone the extra mile to make this feel extra special. You know, if we can get past any kind of reliability issues with it, I think that will only kind of be the only outlier, right? We don't know how this will fare over the next 20 years. However, they have been using the same exact powertrain throughout the last generation Santa Fe here, so it is tried and true at this point. They've tested it and kind of worked out a lot of the bugs and kinks already, so you have that going for you. Really, it's just the additional electrical components now that, you know, kind of bring the potential to fail, right? So that's the only kind of thing to maybe be worried about. However, that's what a warranty is for, and Hyundai does a pretty good job at taking care of these vehicles when a recall takes place, right? So I think it's an exceptional vehicle. It feels excellent in and out. You're going to be shocked by how nice it feels. It really does feel like a Mercedes-Benz when you're in it. It is shocking. So when it comes to resale value, throughout the last 23 years of the Santa Fe's existence with Hyundai, it hasn't done so great, if I'm being honest. As I was looking through, doing some homework on it, it looks like over the first 3 years of vehicle ownership, you tend to lose a little bit more than the average, right? When it comes to residual value, you lose about 38 to 40% of its original value over that first 3 to 4 years. It's a little bit more than the average. However, I would suggest that with this new one here, it's brand new, full redesign, it's going to be desirable for a couple of years to come. So if you're the type to buy a vehicle and own it for just a few years, I don't think you're going to lose your rear end on it. This is going to definitely impress for the next few years. But when it comes to production, Hyundai historically produces a lot of vehicles. So don't get suckered into paying a markup if you go to a dealership. It's brand new, it's the new cheese. So a lot of dealerships unfortunately like to push you with a $3,000 or $5,000 markup, even on these. We saw it with the Kia Telluride. So Korean manufacturers aren't subject, or, you know, negate from it either. They do it too, unfortunately. So don't get suckered into that. They are going to make plenty of them. You can for sure wait it out and get a good deal on it. So I recommend getting it. It does feel like a perfect fit if you have a large family like mine. A ton of headspace throughout it, you know, great seating positions throughout, a lot of adjustability. I'm definitely impressed. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section your feedback. So we'll wrap up the video there, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you found any kind of value in this video, I would sincerely appreciate it if you considered liking and subscribing. I'm trying to build out this Untamed Reviews channel, and I would definitely appreciate your support. It means a lot. So thanks for watching as always. Until next time.